Welcome to the 2021 Weight Management Program presentation. This video contains both new information and provides important reminders on how to effectively execute NCAA required weight certifications. In addition to the requirement of viewing this presentation, all medical personnel should read Chapter 8 of the 2021-23 Wrestling Rules Book and study the weight management packet sent to your institution. Reviewing the weight management rules and procedural guidelines will ensure you have the information and skills necessary to conduct accurate weight certifications. The NCAA Weight Management Program rules, processes, and procedures were developed in the late 1990s in response to the unfortunate deaths of several student athletes. Since its implementation, these processes and other associated wrestling rules have brought a dramatic change in the practices related to weight loss and the selection of the most appropriate competition weight classification for NCAA wrestlers. The most important individuals in the NCAA weight management program are the head coach and the athletic trainer. It is imperative that both individuals educate team members on the importance of the weight certification process and how it will help them to select the most appropriate weight class for the upcoming season. 2020-21 Season Weight Management Violations Review. To educate coaches and medical personnel on common weight management violations that occur, the Rules Committee annually shares violations from the previous season. During the previous season, there were no reported weight management violations or sanctions issued. Who must certify? Per Rule 8.2.1, any wrestler whose name appears on an institutional roster must have a weight certification completed by qualified medical personnel that adheres to all NCAA weight management program rules and procedures. Wrestlers transferring at mid-year from non-NCAA institutions to an NCAA institution must complete the certification process at the NCAA school. Wrestlers transferring mid-year from an NCAA school to another NCAA school will not be recertified, and the existing certification must be transferred to the new school. To request a transfer of a wrestler's certification data, medical personnel must submit a track wrestling ticket that is reviewed by the NCAA Weight Management Liaison. When the Weight Management Liaison approves the request, track wrestling will transfer the data to the new school. Timelines. The rules state that wrestlers on the preseason roster may have a weight certification executed no sooner than the first day of classes. Wrestlers are also allowed to attend practice sessions with no certification on file. However, in order to continue practicing and compete, each wrestler must have a certification completed before the first date of allowable competition, which is November 1st. Because the weight certification can sometimes be executed very close to the first date of allowable competition, it is important to closely monitor each wrestler's projected weight loss descent plan when establishing your certification dates. Please remember, competing at a weight classification earlier than what is prescribed on the weight loss descent plan is a rules violation per the NCAA Wrestling Rules Book and must be reported to the Weight Management Liaison. Wrestlers added to the roster after November 1st must have a weight certification performed prior to their first competition. Wrestlers who are injured or not sufficiently rehabilitated prior to November 1st may certify when released by the institutional medical personnel. As a final reminder, in all cases and regardless of when the certification is performed, wrestlers must always adhere to the 1.5% weight loss descent rule for descending down to their desired competition weight class. The Assessor. The assessor is defined as the qualified medical personnel at each institution that is assigned to execute the NCAA Wrestling Weight Management Certification Program. It is critical that the assessor stay in constant contact with the head coach throughout the certification period. As the assessor, you should communicate with the head coach to develop a certification schedule that works within the facility limitations and considering the wrestler's scheduling conflicts. In addition to setting up the scheduling, the assessor is tasked with ensuring the process is executed with the highest integrity and according to all rules and regulations. Any violations by either wrestlers or coaches regarding adherence to the weight certification rules and protocols must be immediately directed to the Wrestling Rules Committee Liaison at 317-917-6222. Responsibilities of the coach. While the medical personnel are responsible for ensuring the integrity of the weight certification execution, the institutional head coach bears the responsibility for ensuring each coach, volunteer, and wrestler understand the importance of establishing a safe competition weight class and following all rules associated with the process. In addition to educating team members regarding the purpose of the weight certification process, it is critical that coaches explain the seriousness of any weight certification violation. Violations impacting the integrity of the weight certification process, such as urine manipulation or impersonating a wrestler, carry severe penalties. Weight certification process overview. Let's now spend a few moments going through the weight certification process. The weight certification process can be broken up into 7 steps: urine-specific gravity test, weight check, skin fold measurements, entry of data into the optimal performance calculator, confirming data as accurate, coach confirmation of the wrestler's minimum wrestling weight, and finally, sharing the weight loss descent plan with the wrestler. Medical personnel at each institution should develop their own data collection document to record results of each test. This document, at a minimum, should have the full name of the wrestler, urine-specific gravity test results, actual weight, and the body fat measurement data, whether this be the skin fold caliper readings, underwater weighing results, or bod pod measurements. Medical personnel should maintain these data sheets for each wrestler for 5 years. Now we'll talk a little bit about each of the data collection tests. Urine-specific gravity test. The urine-specific gravity test is a very important component of the weight certification program. Please be sure to review the detailed urine collection guidelines outlined in the weight management program packet. As with any test, it is imperative to be accurate and to ensure you're reading the results correctly. Wrestlers who fail the urine-specific gravity test should be provided feedback on the test results so they may adjust their fluid intake accordingly on subsequent attempts. Weight check and body fat determination. After the urine-specific gravity check, wrestlers will step on the scale so their actual body weight can be recorded. After recording body weight, you proceed to the determination of body fat by using one of the 3 allowable methods: skin fold calipers, underwater weighing, or use of the bod pod. Your weight management program packet contains instructions for utilizing each of these data collection methods. Data entry and medical personnel confirmation. Once you collect the data for the wrestlers who complete the 3 data collection steps, you have 5 days from the collection date for the data to be inserted into the Track Wrestling Optimal Performance Calculator. If the data is not inserted into the OPC system within this time frame, the wrestler must be recertified. After you submit the wrestler's data, an email will automatically be sent to the coach. It is a good practice to also verbally notify the coach when there is a certification that needs review. If medical personnel submit data and the coach does not confirm or deny the weight assessment within 48 hours, the information is automatically deleted, and the wrestler must be recertified. Detailed instructions on inputting data into the optimal performance calculator can be found at this website link. Coach's final confirmation. Once the data is entered into the OPC by the medical personnel, the coach has 48 hours to confirm or deny the minimum wrestling weight for the wrestler. Photo number 1 shows a sample view when looking at a wrestler who has a weight certification ready to be reviewed by the coach. Note the red time clock icon. This red icon is the indication that the certification for this wrestler needs reviewed by the coach. Before clicking the red icon, the coach will review all the data on this page and then confirm with the wrestler that this minimum wrestling weight is correct. If after discussing this weight classification with the wrestler, the coach is certain the minimum wrestling weight is correct, they will approve the certification by clicking on the red icon. Photo 2 shows a sample of what is displayed when the coach clicks on the red icon. The coach will click in the Edit Status box, and an option for either approving or denying this as the minimum weight class for this wrestler is given. In this example, the coach approves this weight class as the minimum wrestling weight and clicks Next. Once the coach clicks Next, a dialog box opens, photo number 3, asking the coach to confirm the wrestler's last name and again confirm the minimum wrestling weight class for this wrestler is correct. The coach types this information into the dialog box and clicks Next. A final dialog box is opened, photo number 4, and the coach confirms for the third and final time that the certification and the minimum wrestling weight for the wrestler is correct. Confirming a weight class is not reversible, and the Rules Committee will not consider waivers or reviews. It is imperative coaches discuss each minimum wrestling weight with the wrestler before making this irrevocable decision. Once a wrestler's minimum wrestling weight is confirmed, the original screen shows a white check mark inside of a green circle. This indicates that the assessment is confirmed for this wrestler. Questions and key points of contact. Any questions may be directed to the following individuals. For questions related to the NCAA wrestling rules and the Wrestling Weight Management Program packet, please contact Chuck Barbie. For help or assistance with the Track Wrestling Optimal Performance Calculator, please utilize the Track Wrestling Help Desk ticket system. For questions related to the execution of the weight certification procedures, contact Jim Thornton. Mr. Thornton can also assist in questions throughout the season related to medical examinations and skin infection questions.